Hi everybody, it's Paula here from Craftables. Thank you for joining me again and welcome back. So today we have another men's card that I wanted to show you. Another interactive one, because if you know me, you know I love interactive stuff. So this is another interactive one. So we've got that at the front. Open that up so it's a pop out like that. And then this is like a little booklet that you open and it's got a magnet there, so when you close it, it just magnetizes down. So this is where you would do your writing in there for that man in your life. Okay, so that's our card. Right, let's go. So I've just cut out some A4 cardstock so that it folds with the fold at the top of the card there. And then I've gone ahead and I've cut out 3 pieces of pattern paper that's just about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my black piece there. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick 1 on the front, and then I'm going to pop 2 on the inside there. Okay, so that is the front covered and the 2 inside flaps there covered. So this is my card base. Now this piece here is of a little bit of builder's tape, or I think it's a plasterer's tape or something like that. So the great thing about this is that it comes on these massive rolls, but you don't, you last forever. But the great thing is that one side of this is actually sticky. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut off a little bit here. You don't need a huge amount. And this would last you a lifetime. You can get it in any of the hardware stores. And on the sticky side there, I'm just going to bring my powder in. So this is a detail black embossing powder. And I've got the sticky side facing up towards me. And I'm just going to sprinkle the powder straight onto the sticky stuff. So you don't have to ink this up with any type of embossing inks or anything like that. Because it's sticky, it just goes straight on there. Okay, so I'll just move that out of the way, and I'm just going to really quickly heat it up with a heat gun, and that's all there is to it. It's very quick and easy, and it's a really great thing for any boys or men's cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and heat that up until it goes all shining. Okay, so that is embossing powder heated up on the back of a builder's tape or a plasterer's tape there, and it actually works really well. You could put gold, silver, copper would look amazing on there, but I just wanted to stay in theme with our black card today. So that's all I've done to get this here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this down on here. Now to stick this down, I'm actually going to just put a bit of tape down the center there. So if you've got the red tape, that red super sticky tape, go for it. That would be great. It would stick much better with that. So I'm just going to stick it down there. And then I now have a piece of black here that I'm going to put over the top of that. So that's going to help it to stick down even further there. And then I'm going to pop another piece of pattern paper over the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick those down. This tape here is really great for any sort of guy layouts even, or cards that you want to do for a mail card, and it's just a little bit different and gives it a bit of texture, and it's so quick and easy to use as well. Alright, so I've gone ahead and cut some bits out. So I have a word sentiment here that says amazing, awesome. So I'm just going to pop that right down in the center there. Alright, so I've also gone ahead and I'll cut out some little bits and pieces from a paper that I had that had some men's stuff on it. So I've got a couple of little stars here, a clock, and a little, this is one of my favorites, it's a little truck there, which is really cool. Alright, so I'm just going to stick these down onto the front of my card. So I'm just going to put my bit of foliage there. So I'm just going to use some glue to stick that down. So along there, and I'm just going to pop up my clock, make sure it's up the right way, down there, along there. Just like that. And then I'm just going to bring my little truck down along the bottom there. So guys, cards don't need to be too full of everything. I like to do interactive cards for men's cards because men just love stuff that move and do things and looks a bit mechanical. So any sort of men's card I do, I always try and do something a little bit different with a mechanism or something on there. So that's all I'm doing for the front of my card, so it's really quick and easy. So now we're going to come to do this little pop-up mechanism that I'll show you how to do now. Now this pop-up mechanism you can do for any pop-up. This is exactly the mechanism that you need just to do any sort of pop-up. You can make them bigger or smaller. You could have a couple along there and you can have a couple of things that pop up. So, but today I'm just going to do the one. So I've cut my cardstock out and I've done 4 score lines on there because I wanted it to be a rectangle, not a square. So I've folded on all of my score lines there. And you can purchase the instructions from our website. They're just $5 and it will give you all the measurements that we have for this card in there. So I'm just going to pull these off and I'm going to adhere the 2 bottom pieces together. So we have a rectangle. Now you could do squares, you could do much longer, thinner rectangles if you wanted to. I just needed quite a sturdy one because it's got that little booklet in the middle there. So once you've stuck that together and you've got your little rectangle, I want you to flatten it down. Now this part here, because this bit is the bit that's going to open and shut and it's moving and it's got pulling on it and everything like that, I'm going to use my super sticky red tape. If you don't have the super sticky red tape, that's fine, just use a glue. The normal regular tape will not be strong enough to hold this in place, especially with the booklet on there. If you were doing just a pop-up mechanism without any sort of thing heavy on there or moving on there, normal tape would be fine. It's just that because we're doing something a bit heavier and it's we need to touch the booklet to open and close it and stuff, I just really wanted to make sure this stuck down really well. So the super sticky red tape is perfect for this. So if you can see, it hasn't really stuck down very well in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to burnish that. So I'll just get my bone folder tool and I'm just going to push that down really well so it now looks like it's all black. Now the trick to getting the backing off the red tape is I actually use a pokey tool or a pin is fine, and I just come in just a little bit onto my red, push the pokey tool in, and then I just lift it up from there, and there you have that bit there that folds off. So just a little bit onto the red plastic backing there, push your little pokey tool or your pin in, and then that will lift it up really easily. Okay, so the red tape is always really hard to get the backing off, but I just find that's the easiest way of doing it. Alright, so I'm going to pull the backing off all of that now. So I'm now going to open up my rectangle again. So at the moment we have the square with some really sticky tape on, and then we have the little rectangle one with the tape on. So I'm just going to flip that over and I'm going to put, sorry, let's start that again. Let's have the little square facing towards you and the rectangle facing up that way. So this little square is going to go down onto this bottom piece here. So I'm just going to fold it so that I've got my sticky here and my sticky here, and I'm just going to fold that into the center of my card so that the fold line is lining up with my pop-up here. So I'm just going to stick that down and then stick that one down too. So I'm just going to give that a little burnish to make sure it's stuck down nice and well. Okay, so now when I pull it up, I'm going to have that rectangle in the middle there. So it's this bottom small square and this long rectangle square at the back here are the 2 things that are being stuck down. Okay, now we're going to go on to make the little booklet. So I'll just put that aside. So I've cut this one down just to a size I liked, folded it in half, and I wanted this to magnetize. Now otherwise what's going to happen is that this is just going to fold open all the time, so it's going to be a bit hard to stick down if it's not sticking down really well. So the magnets hold the booklet together, so when you fold it down, it folds down nice and neatly. Okay, so to do the magnets, I know it's a little bit of a different technique to putting magnets on, but I just put my magnet on one side with some tape, and then I just let this magnet find its mate. So that's the side they stick together. So all I do is put a little bit of glue. Now this glue is not going to stick your magnet down. All this glue does is gives you an idea where the other side of your magnet goes. So I'm going to take that off going to flip that over so I'm putting it back where that glue shows me to put it, and then I'm just going to tape it down with a bit of tape again. And that's all there is to trying to get those magnets matched up on both sides. Okay, I just find that that's the easiest way of doing it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take 3 pieces of pattern paper again, and I'm going to cover the 2 inside parts of the booklet, and I'm going to cover the front part here. So I'll just fast forward through this, so bear with me. Okay, so I've now stuck the pieces of paper on the inside. It magnetizes really well, and we have the front piece there as well. So to do your next step, we're going to pop the little booklet now onto that pop-up mechanism in the middle there. So you should have the little square at the top and the bit slightly longer rectangle down the bottom. Now it's this longer rectangle down the bottom that you want to put some more red tape on. So not the whole lot this time, just that rectangle on the bottom. So just need to find the end of that. So I'm just going to put 3 strips down there again, so that it makes it nice and strong. I don't often use the red tape. Red tape is really good for any albums, like mini albums and stuff that you do, but sometimes for a card you just need it once in a while so that it makes everything stick nice and tight. And again, because this is moving up and down all the time, we just really need that to stick down well. So I'm just burnishing it again. I'm just going to take my pokey tool, poke into the red there, the red layering on the top of the tape, and just pull it back. Okay, so just this part down the bottom now is sticky. So I haven't put any, there's none on the top here, but I have got the stick down here. So what I want to do is line up the bottom of my booklet with the bottom of my mechanism here. So I'm just going to center it so the 2 bottoms are lining up, and I'm just going to push that down. So I'm just going to open up my booklet, and I'm just going to burnish it on there really well. Okay, so now when I open up my card, it's going to stand up for me. Okay, and now we have our booklet that we can open and close as well. Alright, so now basically we're just doing our decorating. So I've got a thank you. I'm going to pop up the top here. So just pop some glue on there really quickly. I would be a lot more careful than this. But just for the sake of the video, we're just going to go really quickly. Okay, so I've got my thank you there. And then I've just got a stamped sentiment that I've done, and I'm just making it a bit smaller than the inside of my card there. And I'm just going to stick that down. So you could put any sentiment there if you have another word sentiment that you like, some more die cuts or anything, you could pop those there as well. So I have left a little bit of a gap down the bottom here so I can pop some little stars down there. So I'm going to do that now. Here we go. So there's my little stars down the bottom. And now I've just got another, like there was another blank piece here. So, you know, with this card you could actually put some little photos in there. So you could put a photo in there on those sides, or do your put a piece of white card here and do your writing there. You could put a photo there and do your writing on here. There's a lot of different things that you could do with them. This one I just wanted to pop another sentiment down there, so I've gone ahead and cut those 2 out. So the black one's going to go on first, and I'm just going to put that down on that bottom piece here. So down there. And then before I stick this one down, I'm just going to poke a couple of holes down the side here with my pokey tool. And I've just got some little screw type of brads here that I'm just going to pop down the side there. There we go, and this one as well. Now I'm just going to push them down to flatten them down a wee bit so they're not sticking up too much. And we're just going to tape that, take the tape off the back, and we're just going to stick that one down onto our black cardstock there. Come off there. Here we go. Alright, so that one goes down there. And that's my card. So I hope you give it a try. It is a really fun one to do. I really enjoyed doing this one.